3 bone-chilling airport horror stories that haunt today, they disappeared before boarding. A chill runs down your spine as the whispers echo through the terminal, an ominous reminder that horror often lurks in the most mundane places. Airports, bustling hubs of excitement, can turn into landscapes of dread. Picture this: passengers standing hunched over their bags, eyes wide with disbelief, as one moment changes everything. It begins with the sound of an announcement. Flight 237, now boarding. The words fill the air, yet yards away, a young woman, Lila, has vanished. Just gone. 1 second she's chatting with a friend, the next she's a ghost among the crowd. Her bag still lies open, spilling clothes across the floor, vibrant colors blending into a canvas of confusion. Nearby travelers glance around, sending nervous glances at each other. Did you see where she went? One woman whispers, clutching her boarding pass like a lifeline. The uneasiness hangs thick, a frantic current flowing as people shift, searching for answers. Then there's the man in the black coat. He checks his watch repeatedly, a look of sheer panic etched across his face. He shifts nervously, stepping closer to the gate, and suddenly, he too is announced as missing. Flight 237 has had some unusual delays. The voice crackles, but behind the chatter of concerned families and frantic business travelers, a gnawing fear grows. Have they all simply disappeared? A toddler cries, while their mother's face drains of color, sobs echoing in the cavernous space. Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button. It really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. As the remaining passengers shuffle nervously, rumors fly like wildfire. A local news crew buzzes nearby, capturing the chaos. There's something off about this place, an elderly man murmurs to no one in particular, glancing toward the shadows beyond the terminal. It has a history, you know. The crowd leans in, drawn by curiosity and fear. The words hang heavy in the air, tinged with history and suspense. What secrets does the airport hold? What happened in the past that can't stay buried? What if each footstep taken on the terminal floor is a step closer to an unknown fate? As the hours stretch on like shadows, you can't help but wonder, who else will become part of this haunting tale? The crowd is on edge, whispers spiraling into hushed tones among the travelers. Confusion and fear ripple through the throng like an electric current. The elderly man's ominous statement seems to echo in the hollow terminal, and an invisible weight presses down as every set of eyes flits to the shadows. Lila's friend, Jenna, stands frozen, her heart racing as disbelief clings tight. Where could she have gone? She mutters, her voice trembling. The sight of Lila's bag, a burst of colors against the gray concrete, feels like a cruel joke. All those bright fabrics should weave a story, but instead, they hang limply, unfinished and grim. Then, out of the corner of her eye, Jenna catches movement. A figure slips into the shadows, a man in a faded hoodie, his face obscured. He moves with unnerving calm, glancing back as if checking to see if he has followed. Jenna's instincts scream for her to chase him, but her feet want to obey. She feels like a spectator to a scene much darker than any she's ever witnessed. The other passengers murmur, eyes darting, but no one seems to notice the man. Suddenly, the announcement crackles again. Attention passengers of Flight 237, please remain where you are. Security is investigating a situation. The voice falters slightly, and panic roars to life. Jenna's heart pounds in her chest as she watches the crowd. The man in the hoodie has vanished now, swallowed whole by the terminal's recesses. With every passing moment, something primal awakens within her, a dread that coils tight around her throat. She turns to the family beside her, a young couple clutching their toddler. Did you see that guy? She breathes, desperation threading her voice. They shake their heads, confusion painted across their faces. Jenna understands. They're all trapped in this surreal nightmare together. Their lives have become threads in some dark tapestry woven by an unseen hand. The announcement continues. We ask that all passengers exit the terminal immediately. The words slice through the crowd like a serrated blade. Parents clutch their children. Business people hastily gather their things. But the tension, it's suffocating. A man nearby snaps, his voice high-pitched with fear. What is happening? I need to get to my meeting. As the crowd begins to push forward, panic ignites like a match hitting kindling. People jostle, surge forward, but Jenna remains rooted, torn between fleeing and searching for Lila. Suddenly, she remembers her friend's last words, the quiet moment they shared before everything changed. I'll always find you, she had said, her eyes sparkling. The thought rekindles Jenna's strength. But where to begin? In the chaos, sirens blaze outside, the wail creeping in through the cracked terminal doors. The screams, the spilling confusion, it all composes a cacophony of horror. Something is very, very wrong. Jenna's heart races as a realization washes over her. They're not just losing people. This is a hunt, a darkness searching for more victims. She pushes through the waves of frantic passengers, determined to find Lila. A flicker of movement catches her eye again. The man in the hoodie stands in a doorway at the far end, silhouetted against a blinding light. There is something unnatural about how he stands there, like he's waiting for her. With each step she takes, the world narrows down to the glare of his presence. As their eyes lock over the distance, she feels a chill that grips her. What does he want? Is Lila with him? The shadows pulse, the air thick with foreboding. Jenna steps forward, heart pounding in her ears, ready to either confront the unspeakable or disappear into the same dark fate as Lila. But just as she is about to call out, he vanishes again, leaving behind a whispered question, a taunting echo in the vacant space. What sinister secret lies behind the shadowed corner of the terminal? Who else may be lost within this nightmare? With every heartbeat, the truth inches closer to the surface. Jenna's breath catches as the man in the hoodie fades into the shadows. Panic thrives around her, frayed nerves creating a symphony of chaos while her pulse drums a frantic tempo in her ears. She wipes sweat from her brow, wishing desperately for clarity amid the swirling dread. One thought grips her. Lila. Where could she possibly be? She can't leave her friend behind, not when every instinct tells her something terrible lurks just out of sight. Gathering her courage, Jenna resumes her quest. She pushes past startled travelers, desperate to break through the unyielding tide. Lila, she calls, her voice swallowed by the clamor. She squints into the bleakness at the far end of the terminal, searching for any sign of her friend amidst the looming shadow. The echoes of fearful shouts ignite a chilling realization within her. Each second counts. The darkness may be seeking more than just a fleeting moment. Jenna moves like a ghost through the crowd, her feet driven by urgency. Hey, where are you going? A concerned voice calls out as Jenna brushes past a uniformed security officer. His eyes widen, but Jenna is already several steps away. The urgency to reach Lila overrides everything else. She won't let fear bind her. Ahead, the flickering fluorescent lights reveal a dim hallway, separate from the chaos of the terminal. Jenna hesitates briefly before sprinting toward it. The air grows heavy as she crosses the threshold, and the clamor fades into a muted hum. Her skin prickles, as if the walls themselves watch her approach. Shadows creep along the walls, forming deep crevices that feel alive. Each step deepens the chill curling in her stomach. Then a sound echoes from somewhere deeper like a whisper, soft but urgent. Jenna Lila's voice. The call reverberates in her bones, pushing her onward into the abyss. Lila, she cries, sharp urgency slicing through the oppressive silence. Each echoed syllable feels like a beacon of hope, and for a moment, the fear subsides, replaced by a fierce resolve. But something is wrong, oh so wrong. The hallway twists and turns, branching off into multiple paths. Instinctively, she pauses, scanning the surroundings. An unsettling emptiness engulfs her. Lila, she repeats, hoping to summon her friend from whatever spectral grip threatened their fate. Suddenly, the shadows seem to shift, becoming more pronounced. Darkness spills toward her, and Jenna's heart hammers in her chest. In the corner of her eye, she sees movement. It's the hoodie guy again, just barely illuminated by a flickering light. He is not just a shadow, he's watching her, intent and still, like a predator savoring the moment before the attack. Get away from her. Jenna shouts, fists clenched. The words are raw, fueled by adrenaline. The man's lips curl into a smirk, his expression unnervingly calm. You're too late, Jenna, he murmurs, the voice velvety and cool against the heat of her fear. Where's Lila? She demands, grounding herself, though terror ripples beneath her bravado. She doesn't expect an answer, but she needs to be strong. His laughter curls menacingly through the air. Those who wander into the shadows don't always return. Sometimes, they become a part of it before she can process his words. He dissolves into the darkness, leaving only the echo of his taunt ringing in her ears. Jenna feels as if the ground beneath her trembles, the air electric with an unseen presence. Then, it happens. The air grows still, so quiet she can hear her ragged breaths. Tension coils within her, seemingly poised to snap, when a sudden movement emerges from the depths of the hallway. A vague figure stirs beyond the fading light. Jenna's heart races, every instinct screaming for her to retreat. But the faint outline appears more familiar. Lila? She whispers, dread mixing with a desperate craving for hope. What if she's wrong? What if this is a cruel illusion? The figure steps closer, revealing a face she knows and loves. But there's something about her that makes Jenna's heart drop. As the figure emerges fully into light, Jenna takes a step back, filled with fear, deepened by doubt. This is not the Lila she remembers. What dark truth has transformed her friend in this cursed place? As shadows encircle her, the hunt intensifies. A chilling question drifts through the air. What price must Jenna pay to save Lila before the shadows claim them both? Jenna's breath hitches, her heart thunderous in her chest. The figure before her, this twisted version of Lila, looks as if it were torn straight from a nightmare. Lila's eyes, usually sparkling with warmth, now glow with a haunting light, absently scanning the darkness around her. Lila? Jenna croaks again, though the name barely escapes her lips. Fear wraps around her throat, squeezing. Is that you? The girl's lips part slowly, revealing a fearsome grin that seems so out of place. Jenna, the tremor in her voice drips with something hollow. Help me. Every instinct says to run, yet Jenna's feet remain rooted to the floor. What would happen to you? She fights off the rising nausea threatening to consume her. I was lost, Lila whispers, her tone chillingly detached. It's so dark here, Jenna. I can't find my way. The shadows behind her seem to writhe, drawing closer, absorbing the faint glow of a flickering light. Jenna steps forward, desperation fueling her movements. But I'm here. I'll get you out, I promise. As she reaches for Lila, a jolt of energy ripples between them, almost electric. A shadow crashes in the corner of her eye, something huge and menacing stirring in the depths of the darkness. The sense of danger prickles at her skin. No. Lila's hand shoots up, as if to push Jenna back. You can't be here. You should have stayed away from the shadows. Her voice rises, frantic and pleading. It'll take you to. Behind Lila, the darkness ripples and shifts, pulsing like a living entity yearning for escape. Jenna's resolve falters, fear gnawing at her core. What do you mean? We have to get out. A roar echoes behind Lila, sending tremors through the air. There's no way out, Jenna. The shadows swirl, forming menacing shapes. It wants you more than it wanted me. Jenna feels panic rising. The hoodie man, his smirk etched into her mind, taunts her again. Suddenly, Lila's demeanor changes, her expression a mix of sorrow and resignation. You need to go. Lila. Jenna rushes forward, stretching her hand, refusing to lose her friend to this nightmare. How could she abandon her? But the shadows are shifting, churning like a coiling serpent, hungry and ready to devour. Don't. Lila shrieks, her eyes wide and desperate. It will take you too. This is such a quagmire. Jenna is torn between following Lila into the depths where hope is choking under shadows or fleeing this cursed place to save herself. A flash of fire ignites in her chest. This is not over. Just as Jenna's instinct to retreat kicks in, she notices that the shadows seem to retreat slightly as Lila's tortured eyes plead for understanding. Find the light. Only the light can break the bond, she cries. I won't be lost anymore, but you have to go. Now. Without thinking, Jenna spins on her heels, lunging back down the hallway. Panic shoots through her as she races, propelled by sheer adrenaline. The walls close in, dark tendrils reaching for her. Her heart hammers, each leap echoing through the silence. Find the light. Find it. Lila's desperate voice echoes after her, punctuating the silence. Jenna stumbles into the terminal, a chaotic rush of people and urgency. But every face blends into one, glassy eyes filled with fear. And yet, Lila's voice rings in her mind. What light? Where? Suddenly, a loud crash shatters the cacophony. Jenna turns, eyes wide, heart sinking. The shadows in the terminal seem to swirl and pulse with an aching hunger. She knows she can't linger here. There is no safety under this sky. But just as she sprints toward the brightening exit beyond, she catches a glimpse of the hoodie man leaning against a pillar, his smile wide and waiting. Going somewhere? He taunts, eyes twinkling. Jenna hesitates, dread pooling in her stomach. What do you want? That is the question, isn't it? His eyes glint, dark and unfathomable. What price will you pay for your friend? A chilling realization grips her. She will have to choose. And the price may be more than she ever imagined. The shadows stir behind her, pulling at her soul. Will she make the right choice, or will the darkness claim them both? The haunting question hangs heavy in the air as Jenna races towards the unknown. Jenna's heart pounds like a drum in her ears, but the real cacophony comes from the shifting shadows behind her. Their whispers meld into a dark melody, drawing nearer, closer, each note chilling her to the bone. She can feel the hoodie man's gaze pinning her in place, an invisible weight suffocating any glimmer of hope. Tell me, Jenna. He leans forward, his breath of foul wind against her cheek. Are you willing to play the game? She grits her teeth, fighting back the quaking dread. What game? There's defiance in her words, though they come out shaky and strained. Oh, a simple one, he says, his grin widening further, exposing teeth that gleam like blades. It requires one small sacrifice for another. Choose wisely, or you'll both be lost forever. Jenna's mind races. Sacrifice? What could she possibly give that would save Lila? The air thickens with desperation as her thoughts ricochet off the walls of her mind. Another tremor shakes her to her core as the shadows behind her pulse with urgency. They writhe, almost in anticipation, weaving a tapestry of terror. No, she hisses, the ghost of Lila's voice echoing in her heart. I can't lose her. With sudden resolve, Jenna charges forward, smacking a palm against the pillar where the hoodie man stands. What do you want? She demands, each word laced with furious determination. Take me instead. The hoodie man's eyebrows shoot up. Oh, such bravery. There's a flicker of interest in his gaze, but the shadows loom larger, swirling ominously. Please, I'll do anything. Jenna continues, her breath hitching between pleas. Just let me save her. Each plea tightens around her, but she can't relent. If there's a chance to bring Lila back, she'll claw through hell itself. The man chuckles, and a milky haze fills his eyes. Interesting offer, but understand the light you seek is not something I can grant. It's beyond my control. You must find it, and if you truly wish to save your friend, he trails off, gesturing towards the chaos enveloping the terminal that a surge of anger and despair swells within Jenna. I'll find it. I swear. She can feel Lila's presence, faint but unyielding, a tether pulling her toward hope. Then run, the hoodie man commands, straightening to his full height, which now feels like a wall of darkness rising before her. But beware, the shadows will not let you go that easily. Before Jenna can think twice, she spins around, bursting through the dim corridor of twisting shadows and fleeting passengers whose eyes glisten with unspoken fears. Her heart races against the clamor of chaos, fueled by an unyielding drive to rescue Lila. Find the light, Jenna. Lila's words echo in her mind, the urgency spurring her feet onward despite fatigue pulling at her limbs. She reaches a junction where the terminal splits, paths diverging into pools of shrouded chaos. The atmosphere thickens, and she can hear whispers, fragmented phrases of regret, sorrow, longing, floating like fog through the air. I need, it's my fault. Jenna halts, barely able to breathe as a chill washes over her. Already, the shadows are edging closer, scraping against her skin, each brush igniting flames of dizziness. But then, in that haze, a flicker of warmth beckons from the corner of her eye, a faint, luminous glimmer just beyond her grasp. It's there, hope fluttering amidst despair. She lunges toward it, pushing through the growing darkness, each step igniting the spark of strength winding through her veins. But as she stretches her hand toward that flickering light, the shadows intertwine around her ankles, pulling her back with an insatiable force. Panic threatens to swallow her whole. "Jenna!" A cry echoes from behind, darker than the shadows, more harrowing than any fear she's experienced. Lila's voice wraps around her heart, pulling her attentively back to the fight. Don't give up. This fire, the yearning to find her friend, drives Jenna forward. She must break the bond. She must find the light. But as the whispers grow louder and the shadows threaten to drown her entirely, she feels herself teetering at the edge of hope. What if the price is her own soul? Will she embrace the light, or will darkness take everything she holds dear in its unyielding grip? In this moment of desperation, Jenna stands poised on the precipice of choice. Jenna's heart thunders in her chest like a wild drum, fighting against the weight of darkness bearing down on her. The flickering light dances just out of reach, teasing her with the promise of safety. She can almost feel its warmth wrapping around her like a lifeline, but the shadows are relentless. They coil around her legs, a twisting grip that pulls her toward the abyss. Lila. The name is a prayer on her lips, a whisper of resolve as she fights against the inexorable pull. Each step is a battle, a desperate lunge toward that glimmer which flickers and winks in and out of existence. I want to let you go, but the shadows scrape and bite, leaving cold stabs of dread coursing through her veins. Whispers swell like a tidal wave. Join us, stay, forever. The voices swirl with a dark symphony of despair, each note a reminder of the stakes at hand. Let her go? Jenna cries, her voice cutting through the shadows, jagged and fierce. I want to give in. It feels like a promise, but deep down, the whispers claw at her resolve. Closer, she pushes, knees trembling, every ounce of strength focused on that flickering light. It pulses at the end of the corridor, as if coaxing her, promising solace and a way to Lila. Yet, she can see the malignant shadows now, their tendrils reaching for her, eager to drag her down into the depths of despair. With one last burst of energy, Jenna lunges forward, fingers outstretched toward the light. Just a little bit further. The shadows tighten, but she won't be pulled under. She can feel the resolve of every moment they spent together, every laugh, every secret, coiling around her heart. And then, her fingers touch the light that a shockwave passes through her, igniting her senses. Its warmth, sizzling against her skin, a beacon of hope cutting through the overwhelming darkness. The shadows recoil as if stung, an unearthly shriek echoing through the terminal. But as she basks in the flow of bright energy, a sudden dread grips her. What if this isn't the escape she hoped for? The light feels vibrant, yes, but there's a flicker of uncertainty within it, a warning, perhaps. What if Lila was lost to the light, too? Jenna. Lila's voice splits the air, filled with urgency. You have to make the choice. Don't leave me. The shadows lunge toward her once more, furious and wild. They swirl with dark energy, trying to reclaim what they've lost. Jenna's heart drops as fear crashes over her, a tidal wave threatening to drown her. No. She closes her eyes for a moment, a wave of clarity cutting through her dread. In this throbbing moment between light and shadow, she realizes she must choose carefully. If she saves Lila, what of herself? And if she saves herself, what fate awaits Lila? A chilling realization carves its way into her mind. What if the sacrifice is not only one of flesh, but also of spirit? The hoodie man's words resonate again, heavy and foreboding one for another. Jenna feels the weight of their shared history, the laughter, the fights, the tears. Shadows twist around her, darkly urging her towards despair. But the light holds such tantalizing warmth, pulling her into its embrace. Desperate, she feels the flicker of defiance rise anew. I won't abandon you. She shouts once more, but the shadows laugh, a haunting chorus of betrayal. Time feels suspended, each second stretching into infinity as she weighs the choice before her, in the depths of darkness. Her next action will echo, the impact forever sealing their fates. A choice must be made, but what price could she be willing to pay? As the shadows close in, a haunting question lingers in the air. Will she choose her friend, or will the light consume them both? The light surged around Jenna, a brilliant halo that swirled with promises of hope. Yet, each pulse seemed to ripple with warnings, whispering secrets barely audible over the cacophony of shadows. They curled around her, dark tendrils wrapping tightly like serpents, squeezing the air from her lungs. Jenna, Lila's voice pierced through the tumult, raw with fear. You have to decide now. Tears pricked Jenna's eyes, clinging to her lashes like drops of glass. How could she choose? In one direction, the intoxicating light beckoned her forward. In the other, shadows writhed and laughed, greedy for more. The memories of their friendship forced their way into her thoughts, bubbling up like the surface of boiling water. They flickered like memories light beneath the surface of water, making her heart ache. Just then, the shadows lunged, their voices melding into a fierce, angry roar that reverberated through the corridor. You can't save her. Choose us. Embrace the darkness. The sounds crashed over Jenna in waves, taunting, mocking, suffocating. Every ounce of courage waned as the cold despair gnawed at her spirit. No, I want to listen, she screamed, surprising even herself with the conviction that rumbled from her chest. She focused harder on the light, intense, inviting. It was a shimmering promise of salvation. As the shadows howled in fury, Jenna felt something shift inside her. It was a spark, a flicker of defiance against the tide of darkness. She took a step toward the light, testing its warmth against her skin, its glow promising not just liberation but a chance for Lila. I believe in you. We can find a way out. Jenna, don't. Lila's voice trembled, filled with an urgent plea that sent a chill down Jenna's spine. But Jenna hesitated. Could she risk the light swallowing them whole? A thought struck. What if stepping into that light meant leaving Lila behind? The weight of that possibility bore down on her like an anchor. Shadows crept closer, their breath hot and dank as they wrapped around her ankles. Choose, they hissed, the urgency palpable, echoing through the empty terminal. One must pay the price. Jenna clenched her fists, a fire igniting within her. If I have to choose, I'll choose both of us, she declared loudly. Her heart raced, each beat a desperate measure against time, battling against the growing tide of darkness. As she spoke, an unexpected warmth bloomed in her chest. The light pulsed in response, illuminating the corridor with blinding brilliance. Jenna's heart resonated with each thrum, and she felt Lila's presence inside of it. They were intertwined, bound by friendship, by shared memories that stitched them together, grounding her. With a surge of strength, lightning fast and bright, Jenna lunged toward the path where the light and shadows collided. I will not lose you, she cried, feeling both exhilarated and terrified. The shadows shrieked in protest, flailing like a wounded beast. Tendrils lashed out, but Jenna pushed through, propelled by a fierce determination. The light wrapped around her like a protective blanket, shielding her from the biting cold of despair. Suddenly, the energy surged, brightening to an overwhelming intensity. And in that blinding moment, Jenna felt everything around her shift, as if they were unraveling from their tether to reality. The shrieks turned into a cacophonous roar, shaking the very ground beneath her. She took one final step forward into the bursting light, pulling Lila with her. Then the world went dark. Jenna's eyes blinked open to utter silence. She found herself lying on a cold, hard surface. The air felt different, thick with a kind of energy that made her feel unsettled. Lila? She called softly, uncertain of what had happened, but there was no answer. Panic clawed at her chest. She pushed herself up, scanning the shadowy contours around her. Dim light filtered from somewhere above, casting an eerie glow across barren walls that closed in too tightly. Where are we? The question echoed in her thoughts, pierced by despair that a shiver ran down her spine as she stepped cautiously forward. Something was off wrong. The silence was too profound, too heavy, and beneath it, the shadows seemed to laugh once more, too distant, yet too close for her comfort. The whispering shadows surrounded her again, their voices chilling her blood. Welcome back, Jenna. Did you think it would be that easy? Her mind raced. There was only one way out, and somehow she had to find Lila. But first, she had to confront the darkness that had engulfed her. A new fear blossomed in her heart as she stepped forward into the shadows once more. What awaited her here? And could it hold the key to saving her friend? Determined, Jenna took a shaky breath as she forged ahead, her heart pounding with the urgency of an unceasing storm. How many choices would it take before she found Lila? And what might she have to sacrifice in the shadows ahead? Jenna pressed forward, her heart thundering in her chest like a hammer on an anvil. The echoes of her steps mingled with that ongoing laughter of shadows, a twisted symphony that sent shivers crawling up her spine. Each inch felt like an eternity, and she strained to catch even the faintest sound of Lila. Lila. The name came out as both a prayer and a desperate plea, sound swallowed quickly by the smothering darkness. She fought through waves of anxiety, unwilling to let the shadows consume her. Each breath felt like a quiet battle between hope and despair, the air thick like molasses, slow and suffocating. She could almost feel the cool fingers of the dark grasping for her, trying to pull her back into their depths. Why don't you just embrace it? One of the shadows crooned, its voice silky and sinister. You can be free, Jenna. No more choices, no more fighting. You can join us. The flicker of a memory burned behind her eyes, her and Lila laughing on the playground, their hands linked tightly. Did she dare risk that connection, knowing it might be what kept Lila trapped? No, she shouted, surprising herself with the strength of her protest. I want to give up on her. The shadows wavered, but the laughter intensified, wrapping around her like a wicked embrace. Oh, but you stepped into our realm willingly. Now it's your turn to pay the price. Suddenly, Jenna caught sight of a flicker of light, weak but unmistakable, slashing through the thick darkness ahead. Drawing on every ounce of courage, she moved toward it, the shadows hissing in frustration as they shrank back. But still looming near enough to stir unease that as she closed in on the light, Jenna spied movement. Her heart leaped. Lila, are you there? No answer came, but the light flickered again, beckoning her. It pulsed with urgency, as if it too sensed the bond between them, urging her to hurry. Jenna could swear she saw the outline of a figure embraced by the light, but clarity slipped away like sand through her fingers. Cautiously, breaths coming in tight, rapid bursts, Jenna edged closer. The shadows shifted as if in a panic, desperate to block her path. Do not go, Jenna. Stay with us. Here, you can be whole. She froze, the words ringing cruel and hollow. Whole? Jenna scoffed defiantly. You think there's any wholeness in darkness? I'd rather be broken than belong to you. The shadows recoiled, and in that brief moment of vulnerability, she surged forward. The light grew warmer, wrapping around her in a comforting embrace as it drew her nearer. Pulses of energy danced along her skin, filling her with warmth and determination. Hold on, Lila, she called again, her voice emboldened by the flickering flame of hope within her. I'm coming. The light exploded ahead, dispersing the shadows that grasped for her, illuminating a narrow hallway strewn with debris. Amidst the chaos, shapes shifted in the periphery of her vision, shadows of lost souls, their faces contorted in anguish. They reached for her. Jenna's determination hardened like steel. She couldn't let fear pigeonhole her. She sprinted down the hall, ignoring the growls and eerie whispers straining to break her resolve. As she ran, she diverted her focus on Lila, each thought fueling her effort to break free. Suddenly, a figure jumped into her path. A shadow, darker than the rest, its eyes brimming with malice. You think you can save her? You have no idea what's waiting for you on the other side. It hissed. Jenna skidded to a stop, heart racing. Let me through. Prove your worth, it snarled, stretching out its arms. Sacrifice something precious, or suffer the consequences. Jenna's breath caught in her throat. What would she have to give up? Time seemed to stretch, and she could feel the weight of her choices crashing down around her. She struggled to find an answer, panic clawing at her insides. Could she sacrifice anything at all, agonizing over what it could mean? As shadows circled her, waiting for her decision, the flickering light behind her wavered in urgency. She had to act before it was too late. What was she willing to risk to bring Lila back? And what if that sacrifice meant losing a part of herself forever? The time was ticking, and the shadows were closing in. Would she make the ultimate leap of faith? Jenna's heart hammered louder, drowning out the sinister whispers surrounding her. The shadow before her loomed larger, its eyes glowing like embers, as if each flicker held the promise of despair. What will it be, Jenna? Your friendship? Your freedom? Her hands trembled, threading through her hair in frustration. The pressure of choice clawed at her throat. She couldn't lose Lila. But what did the shadow mean? Did she really have to sacrifice something she held dear? Jenna felt the warmth of the light behind her, urging her onward. Yet, could she make this sacrifice without knowing the consequences? Think carefully. It taunted, slithering closer, the air thickening with its malice. Every decision has a cost. What is worth more to you? Jenna's mind raced. The image of Lila's smile flickered in her thoughts. They had shared so much dreams, secrets, laughter. How could she choose between Lila and her own essence? The thought of losing a part of herself felt like a betrayal. Your memories, your ability to love, perhaps even your own happiness? The shadow dripped with venom as it gestured towards the darkness surrounding them. In exchange for her life, you could trade your joy, sacrifice it all, and she may just walk out. No, Jenna shouted, her voice breaking through the suffocating fog. I won't let you turn this into a twisted game. The figure paused, its dark gaze narrowing. An unsettling silence enveloped them as Jenna pulled in a shaky breath. Her resolve mustered again, bolstered by desperation. I will choose my own sacrifice. The shadows recoiled slightly, a brief moment of uncertainty passing over the figure's sleek form. Very well, Jenna. Prove your spirit. But be warned, the shadow lifted its hands, fingers elongating menacingly. Choose wisely. This is a one-time offer. Jenna felt the cold creep of uncertainty prickling her skin. Then tell me what I must give up. The shadow, now vibrating with palpable energy, paused. Your ability to dream. In exchange for Lila, you will forever forfeit your capacity for hope, it hissed with glee. No more future, only shadows and darkness, just like this realm. The thought crashed over her like a heavy wave, dragging her under. Was she willing to exchange her future for Lila's safety? Behind her, the light flickered more violently, each pulse feeling like a heartbeat linked to Lila's life. Jenna, the voice was softer now, muffled and far away. I need you. Please don't do this. Lila, Jenna shouted, hearing her friend's voice and again feeling that unbreakable bond. No darkness could sever the connection they shared. Would she trade her capacity to hope for a fleeting moment of clarity? The shadows shifted restlessly, closing in again, their laughter renewing. Time is short. Choose. What is happiness worth, she thought in desperation, if someone I love is lost? In that moment, something inside her snapped. It wasn't about sacrifice. It was about fighting for what mattered. I won't lose hope, even for Lila. The shadow twisted with rage. You dare reject my offer? You've chosen, then suffer. Before Jenna could comprehend, the figure lunged. A wave of blackness surged forward, funneling through the air, pinning her against the wall. Suffocating darkness clawed at her, tasting like despair itself. She felt the flickering light dim as the shadows swallowed it whole. No, Jenna cried out, feeling her body go numb. Lila, and then, total oblivion. The world faded, leaving only silence and an empty void where hope had flourished. But then a spark ignited in the haze. Jenna, Lila's voice broke through, persistent. Fight. Fight for us. And suddenly, Jenna found herself standing on the precipice of darkness again, battling back with everything she had. Light began to shimmer in her chest, pushing against the shadows as her determination ignited anew. This time, she prepared this time, she would confront the shadows, face the darkness head-on. What unexpected power surged alongside her? And what would happen when she unleashed her heart against the void? The battle was just beginning. Jenna's heart thundered in her chest, each pulse like a battle cry against the suffocating darkness. She could hear Lila's voice winding through the void, urging her to fight, to hold on to something. It was a lifeline pulling her from despair. Fight. Fight for us. The words echoed within her, igniting her spirit like a spark catching dry wood. Suddenly, determination coursed through her veins, stronger than fear, brighter than the shadows swirling around her. With a fierce scream, she summoned the light buried deep inside her, the memories of laughter, friendship, and warmth. I refuse to let you take us. Her voice rang out, a beacon contrasting the chilling shadows closing in. The walls trembled in response. She was ready to reclaim what was rightfully hers. The shadows howled as Jenna forged ahead, each step a declaration of her strength. Behind her, she could almost feel Lila's presence, echoing her resolve, her heart aligned with Jenna's. "You can't take away our love." Jenna shouted defiantly at the darkness, if woken by her defiance. The swirling shadows recoiled for a moment, swirling uncertainly. Jenna seized the opportunity, channeling her willpower into a concentrated beam of light. It radiated from within her, shining like a lighthouse cutting through the storm. She raised her hands, and the light expanded, pushing against the encroaching darkness. The shadows shrieked, their cacophony merging into a desperate chorus of rage. "You're nothing. You'll never escape us," they screeched, yet Jenna stood firm, trembling but unyielding. Each flicker of light was a testament to their connection, the love she shared with Lila grounding her, anchoring her soul. "Then I will fight until my last breath." The declaration burst forth with a fury that reverberated through the abyss. The shadows burned brighter, trying to engulf her, but Jenna pushed outwards, flooding the space with radiant warmth in a blinding flash. The darkness shrieked, twisting back, writhing as if trying to escape the very light that had once entrapped them. Light pierced the void, illuminating every corner. And there a figure emerged. It was Lila. "Jenna." Her friend's voice rang out like a bell of hope. "Hope? Yes." Jenna felt strength swell within her. "You're real." But Lila looked different, her form shimmering like a mirage. Shadows still encircled her, pulling her back. She looked terrified, yet her eyes shone with love. "You're here. You found me. I want to let go, Lila. I'll pull you into the light." Wrapped in courage, Jenna reached forward, their hands almost meeting, the warmth igniting between them like sunlight breaking through storm clouds. "No, you can't touch her." The shadows roared angrily, lashing out like wild animals spurned. Jenna felt a surge of fear, but it did nothing to hinder her resolve. Lila was just within reach. "Fight with me," she shouted, desperation threading through her voice in that moment. They locked eyes, a chain of connection solidifying the space between them. "Together," Lila echoed, her voice gaining strength. "Yes, together." Jenna took one more step into the swirling void, light expanding around them both. They held onto each other, hands grasping tight as the shadows roared, clawing at what they couldn't claim as they leaned into the radiant energy flowing between them. The shadows faltered, flickering like a candle in the wind. Jenna felt the pulse of their connection harmonize, the love radiating warmth against the icy claws of despair. "Let us break their hold," Lila shouted, determination flooding her voice. "Together." Jenna mirrored her friend, inseparably intertwined through shared memories, laughter, whispers of secrets. They surged forward, hands clasped, forcing their combined light against the encroaching dark. The shadows screamed, a sound like shattered glass, and in that moment of truth, the light exploded through them. Waves of brilliance washed over the abyss, illuminating every inch of the previously dark void. With a final, guttural screech, the shadows tore, unraveling like smoke in the wind, dissipating into nothingness. And there it was, the world blossomed around them, vibrant colors exploding into view. Soft sunlight streamed through an expansive sky, glistening clouds hanging like cotton candy. They stood together amidst 1,000 hues, the airport, the waiting crowds. "Lila," Jenna breathed, pulling her friend into a tight embrace, relief flooding her heart. "Jenna." Lila's joyful laugh rang in the air, a sound like falling rain on parched earth. "We made it." Their laughter filled the sky, driving away the last vestiges of darkness. No more shadows, no more haunting whispers, only the soft hum of life buzzing around them, a testament to their bond forged against despair. As they stood together, bathed in golden light, Jenna realized this victory was just the beginning. They had fought against the darkness, and together, they would always stand strong. "Let us go home, Lila," Jenna said. A warm smile spread across her face, eyes shining with hope. "Home," Lila echoed, intertwined, the promise resting gently between them. But for those listening, remember this tale: never underestimate the bonds we have, even when shadows threaten to take what we hold dear. And now, before you go, I need you to do something important. This is the moment to show your support. You need to subscribe now so you don't miss the next exclusive stories. Smash that like button now to feed the algorithm. Flood the comments section with your reactions and theories about the ending, what you think will happen next. And don't wait even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this conclusion. Your support makes all the difference. Let's keep the stories alive.